we're going to make a sultana cake. Slight variation on the theme, but the basics we'll start with. First of all, we need to prepare the tin, and gone are the days when we were cutting out circles of greaseproof paper and lining tins. They can be bought ready-made like that, and for the cost of them much more effective. Just pop it in the tin and we're ready to go. In the bowl I've already got 6 ounces of caster sugar, in this case golden caster sugar, and 6 ounces of softened butter. You can use butter or margarine, again a question of personal taste. We need to beat together the butter and sugar. You can do it in a mixer if you want to, but I've made the butter nice and soft so that we don't have the overpowering sound of the mixer while we're doing it. So once those are together, just a good hard beating. Next we add the eggs, one at a time. We only do that so it doesn't curdle the mixture, but in real terms it doesn't matter if the mixture does curdle. By the time you've put the flour in, it sorts itself out. Beat the eggs in one at a time. Next we add the flour. Now most traditional recipes just say self-raising flour or plain flour and baking powder. But because some fruitcakes can tend to be a bit dry, I substitute a couple of ounces with ground almonds. To the mixture that we've had, 6 ounces of caster sugar and butter, 3 eggs, I've added 10 ounces of self-raising flour. As I'm starting to mix that in, I'm going to add 2 ounces of ground almonds. That mixture's getting a bit dry, so we're going to add a couple of tablespoonfuls of milk to it, just to slacken it off a bit. So now we've got a nice smooth mixture that's fairly sloppy, drops fairly easily from the spoon. And then now for the final ingredient, the sultanas. I've soaked mine in a little bit of fruit juice so that again it adds to the moisture in the cake. Most recipes would say add about 8 ounces of fruit to this quantity, but I've added a bit more. I think it pays to be generous. There's nothing worse than a fruit cake when you have to search for the fruit. So we've had 6 ounces of caster sugar, 6 ounces of butter, 3 eggs, 10 ounces of self-raising flour, 2 ounces of ground almonds, and about half a pound of sultanas with a bit of milk to loosen it. And now that's going into the tin and it's ready for the oven. That will need to cook at around gas mark 4 for an hour and a half. So the cake's ready now, lovely smell of cooking sultanas. I'm just going to lift it onto the rack to cool and hope I don't drop it. There we are, 1 sultana cake. So next time we're going to have a look at cooking Mediterranean fish. Thanks for joining us.